Welcome to N.E.T Collective, where we navigate everything together, from classroom to college to careers and beyond. I'm Kay McBroody, career coach and founder of Waterville Partners.
I'm Ruth Hayes, founder and managing partner at Fulcio Prep, a boutique tutoring firm.
I'm N.E.T Patel, school psychologist in private practice. You can find me at vinitapatel.com.
Hi there, this is Kay.
This is N.E.T.
This is Ruth.
Welcome to N.E.T Collective, where we navigate everything together. We're thrilled that you're joining us for our inaugural episode, and you are going to learn more about us and what we're doing here and why you're going to enjoy tuning in. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Thanks, Kay. You're also going to learn about what topics we're going to be covering based on our shared experience and expertise, and also who is ideal in terms of our target audience, although we would like everyone to be our listeners.
Yes.
Yep.
So who is this for? Who are we talking to here?
Great question, Ruth. So this podcast, the N.E.T Collective podcast, is perfect for parents who may be concerned about their teen or young adult in terms of their learning skills. This podcast is also going to be great for students themselves who want to have a better understanding for how they learn and how they may process information, and some really good strategies and tips and tricks for how to be the best student and productive young adult that you can be. We're also going to be navigating the whole college essay writing and test prep, in addition to career coaching and career planning and what to do if you're stuck in that part of your life.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go over.
Yeah, and there'll be topics for all along that journey. So we'll talk about test prep, we'll talk about the essay writing and stuff. We're going to talk a lot about executive functioning. We have a whole awesome executive functioning series coming out. And just for the record, N.E.T, what is executive functioning?
Oh, yeah, I can talk for that about days, but I won't because this is just our meet and greet. but for now, our executive functioning, a really quick cliff note is really our executive functioning system. It's our brain's management system that helps us do the things that we have to do. It's like the CEO of our brain. So stay tuned for a number of episodes on what it is. We're going to unpack that in addition to the strategies for each one of those skills.
Yeah, and these are going to be things like time management, organization, prioritization, all that fun stuff. And so we're also going to be talking about career launch. I know this is more your department, Kay. What can they expect there?
Everything from understanding what motivates you and, you know, if you're feeling stuck, how do you get unstuck for those types of things? What are some tips and tricks there? The elevator pitch, networking strategies, the resume, interviewing skills, all the different components that go into helping you pivot or launch a career.
And I'm really excited for Kay's lead episode on your internal compass, which is a really cool concept that you developed. And so that, I think, will be coming up in episode 2 or so. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks.
And then we'll also be talking a lot about how to get through all of those school experiences, so study skills, how to keep up with your teachers, how to communicate with your teachers, test prep, what is going on with test prep post-pandemic. We're going to talk about that, writing, how all of this feels, how all of this affects you, and also how it affects relationships between parents and kids.
Right. So given all of these topics, we've really, I think, curated a nice library of episodes for our listeners. And one thing I think that we all feel really passionate about is that we understand that you, our listeners, that your time is valuable and sacred, and we don't take that lightly. So by you joining us, we have a responsibility to deliver a very good product. And with that said, we would also like to hear from you in terms of other types of topics that you'd like to listen to. So you can reach us at info@netcollective.org.
Exactly.
For feedback.
To give us feedback. And then if you just go to our website, the netcollective.org, you'll see not only pictures of all of us and our library of issues here, our episodes, but you'll also get a library of PDFs of notes, because we know that some people learn by, listening, and other people are going to learn by seeing things. So we've accommodated that as well, which is kind of cool.
That's right. They're handouts that you can print out. And, oftentimes when I'm listening to an educational podcast or something that's informational, I'm always having to stop and rewind so I can hear that again. And you're welcome to do that. But this way you can go onto our website and print those out and have it for yourself as a future resource.
Yeah, or even as a listening guide.
That's right. That's right.
Well, because our listeners may be doing folding their laundry or on a walk or with
on the
their
treadmill,
dog.
at the
Exactly.
gym, right.
So, which is perfect.
Yeah. So should we move on to more about us?
Sure.
And
absolutely.
maybe, of course, you can go onto our website and learn more about our backgrounds. But you know what, Kay, why don't you tee us off with, tell us about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm a career coach, and I had a corporate career first. And then what was interesting is when I started our family, my husband and I started our family, friends started calling me asking for advice because their kids were graduating from college and landing on their couches. And the reason they were calling me is because they trusted me, because one of my roles had been director of college relations. So I did all the entry-level hiring across the company. And so I did a lot of interviewing and a lot of coaching of 20-somethings. And I realized that there was a business model here. And so for the last 20 years, I've been coaching. And I knew that in order to be effective at it, there had to be a framework and a model and exercise and measurable things. So I put this all together, and it's really been fun. So I have my own private practice. I also work with a group of people, Strategies for College, who helps, and other independent coaches to help kids get ready for college. So I'll do assessments not just for kids who are graduating from college, trying to launch their careers, but also people who are younger. So high school kids trying to figure out what major they're in or what career might be interesting. So and I'm also happen to be the mother of 2 college students. So
That's great. So you've got a full plate. Okay, what do you love about your job?
I love when I see people that actually understand where they want to go and help them get there. And seeing someone that's stuck and helping them get unstuck is really, that's
very
my
gratifying,
jam. That's my
right?
jam. That's
Yeah.
my jam. That's my favorite part, is when, I'll get a call from somebody who graduated from working with me, and 5 years later saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing the coolest thing, and I'm really happy, and I don't think I would have been here if it wasn't for you."
Oh,
and
that's
so
wonderful.
it's when I hear those kind of stories from people who have pivoted and used. I teach my clients how to fish. I don't feed them fish. So I give them a
right.
proven roadmap that they can replicate time and again after they graduate from working with me. So that's been fun.
And you've just got a really motivating, you're like a cheerleader. You're everyone's cheerleader, okay? I've known you for years and years, and you are really contagious with your
thank
energy.
you.
One woman pep squad.
One woman pep squad.
Well,
Woo.
and what's interesting, though, is I know my lanes. So, for example, if I've got a client who they've got their directions figured out and they've got their plan, but they're not executing on it, I know they've got some EF issues. So that's when I refer them to you, for example.
Right.
Or if someone is applying to colleges and they need help with their essays, I'll refer them to Ruth. So
Right.
I'm really grateful for the connections and the expertise that you guys offer to
Yeah.
our collective clients.
This has been such a great network to work with.
Oh, yeah. And so with that, Ruth, tell us about you.
Yeah,
Give us
so
a background.
I tutor and I run a tutoring company. I come from an academic background, and I was always tutoring kind of on the side as I was in school, and realized I really don't like classroom management, but I love to teach and I love to work with students and to teach teachers. So did a lot of jobs in the tutoring industry, led teams, did curriculum management, did lots of different things. And then recently in the last several years, I've started my own firm with my husband. So we focus on a lot of things, both gifted and neurodivergent students, and there's a lot of overlap in those two Venn diagrams. And we do a lot of test prep, college entrance exams, applications, essays, but then we also focused on doing all of that with loving kindness and focusing on the family, focusing on the student as a person.
Oh, yeah. And that really comes out in how you just approach a lot of things, Ruth. Yeah.
And to answer your question, Vanita, my favorite thing about my job
Yeah.
is telling people, see, I knew you could do it.
Absolutely. That's great.
We got another cheerleader here. yeah.
All right,
And
get
what
your
about you?
pom-poms out, Vanita.
It's funny you say that because I was a cheerleader in high school.
There you go.
Okay, so my story is this. I actually started in the mental health space. I was out of undergrad. I worked at a psychiatric hospital on the children and adolescent unit, and so we worked with the, really significant clients who had significant clinical issues. Like, I'm talking significant. I'd never seen anything like it at that point in my life. And so one thing that was really apparent early on was that no matter what these patients at the time had going on in their lives, they still had to learn. We had an accredited school in the building. And I really started to become very interested in that part of the patient's world. No matter what they were suffering with, whether it was clinical depression or, major anxiety or even, some of the more severe ones like psychosis, they still had to learn. They still had to keep up with reading and writing and all of that. And so I did some research and decided that I wanted to really be part of that part of a person's life: school, academics, education. And so I got my degree in school psychology, my master's and PhD, and I had a handful of traditional jobs working in school districts. And then about 20 years ago, I went out on my own in private practice, and I focused mainly on executive functioning, which I have a deep passion for, because those are life skills. They're not just about school. And 100%. I also do, and I also do neuropsych assessments. And so we will also be unpacking what that looks like. 'Cause to me, I see it as a puzzle, how we all learn differently. And I also do work with the gifted population. So that is my story, and I'm really excited to be here. And now we can all add the fact that we're all podcasters.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is something I couldn't say 6 months ago.
And it's interesting because I met you guys obviously through referring different clients to you, and then realized that you two may enjoy each other's company.
Oh, yeah.
We sure do. We sure do.
We started having monthly lunches together, and those lunches became sacred time. And really cool conversations ensued. And we were trying to figure out something that we could do together. And we brainstormed, maybe we could do a webinar, maybe we could be a guest on someone's podcast. And then it dawned on us, well, why don't we just start our own podcast? And I remember you two had said to me, oh, do you know how to do that? And I'm like, no, but we can figure it out. And so here we are with our first episode and many more to come. But this has really been a journey and a labor of love to try and share our resources, our knowledge, our experience with a larger population. And, so people don't have to reinvent the wheel. They can learn from and try from some of these things that we've already seen proven successful.
And if you can't already tell, clearly we all like to talk.
And listen.
And listen and share and grow and learn. And that is really our intent with you, our listeners.
Yeah. And we can't wait to share these conversations with you.
Right. So stay tuned. We've got a lot coming up. We've got our first episode dropping right after this. It's going to be on executive functioning. And then we will follow up with Kay's wonderful internal compass.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks for joining.
See you next time. If today's conversation resonated, please share this episode with anyone who may need it, and follow us at netcollective.org or wherever you get your podcasts so you won't miss what's next.
We are N.E.T Collective, navigating everything together, one conversation at a time. Thanks for joining us.